Welcome back. Historical Day is here. Today talking about 18th century. Like we talked about 19th, we're talking about 18th. In 18th in Europe mostly. Because all this history that is studied, its main focus of it is on Europe. And in Europe I want to point our attention at Austrian Empire. At first it was like one huge Austrian Empire, then it became Austrian and like double empire. Like there's two countries, was like unity of two countries, and there's many little other provinces. And there was this Queen Maria Theresa, or Emperor of Austria, and like she got her throne because her father, like if I'm not mistaken, the Charles, or yes, probably the Charles, yes, and he like made the heritage, he wrote in his like legal papers to make her a queen, and she became queen at 23. The most notable achievements of Maria Theresa was that she reformed military forces of the country. She like replaced the system in which it was like organized, all those military staff, and that was what she done. She also was overcoming her antagonists, because many people didn't think she can rule the country at like, because she was a woman and she was at young age, but she also was like, her goal was to like prove they are wrong, and that was she doing like that time. I also want to point out that at that time that was 18th century, and at that time, like many European monarchs, they was looking at Louis XIV of France. He like was ruling at the end of 17th century and 18th century, and he ruled for 74 years, like really long. He was the Sun King, Louis XIV, this of France, and he got this kind of stuff, absolutism going, like like when one person has all the authority in the country that is possible. And it was a lot like present, it was as popular as democracy is nowadays. Oh, and yeah, that was like quite it. Like this we covered like Louis XIV a bit, we covered Maria Theresa, like it's in Europe. And Europe was like in Austrian Empire, there was German language they was speaking, and this empire was incorporating like that many little countries that it was like called something like empire from little pieces, like that kind of thing. And I also wanted to point out that in this 18th century there was developing a lot of technology, mostly in England and Netherlands, and also in the northern United States. Like that was due to all those mindsets that people had. They drawn maps with a lot of blank white space, but that was quite in the future. That I read this in Harari's book Sapiens. And but that kind of mind state was formed during this like 18th, 17th century, and they already were developing stuff. Like Richard Arkwright invented the very first factory in the world, and like in that factory that Richard Arkwright invented, there was this wheel that water moved the wheel, and it was factory, like not the manufacturer, like, but it was a factory, because there was this gears, there was all this engine, and it worked like magic. A little worse than probably present-day factories because they are more optimized, but that was a huge step ahead in all those technology, in developing all that technology. And okay, so what we learned, to repeat it today. Today we talked about Maria Theresa of Austria. We also slightly covered Louis XIV of France. We also talked about the scientific progress in 17, mostly in 18th century, and we also covered the very first factory in the world, but Richard Arkwright. So yeah.